And so, how are some ways that you coach leaders to coach their teams through change?
Well, I'm probably not going to give you the easy answer here because you just described a scenario in which I have walked through hundreds of times, especially with production folks, because it's a natural progression. If they want to grow their production, at some point they've reached their ceiling of complexity and they need help. And once you add teammates, what you're getting is not only how do those changes impact them, but guess what? They're human beings too, which means they bring their real life into your team. Some
Mhm.
of them get pregnant and need some time to do very normal and wonderful things like have a baby and welcome a new member of the family. Some of them get sick themselves or have a parent who gets sick or a child who gets sick. I mean, I could go on with these examples, but the point is, it's not just how do you help as the leader coach them through the changes that the team is going to go through. You've now welcomed a person into the mix that has their own life going on. And a lot of producers aren't prepared for how difficult it is to manage people. They're really good at managing the systems they create, they're really good at managing a process. They're even really good at managing predictable outcomes with their production. Now, when other people have to come into the mix, they weren't ready for how difficult it is to deal with personalities, competing interests, and ultimately drama. Drama comes into the mix. And I've never met a person who says to me, gosh, I love some good drama. That's what I'm looking for with my team. So, Catherine, it's not an easy answer. And that's the value of coaching in those scenarios is I'm the one safe space for many of those leaders to work through that difficulty. And I'm not emotionally attached to any of the outcomes other than them. I'm solely in their corner. So we can talk through the difficulty of those topics and it's not affecting me in a negative way. And that is a real value to those leaders because often once they work through that, we tend to find the obvious pathways that we're going to go or the few options that they get to explore, but they needed a safe place to do it because without it, it's very tempting for a leader to be like, gosh, why did I didn't ask for this. I just wanted to level up. I just wanted to grow. And now I've got to deal with Susie and her problems at home. And guess what? That's part of being a team leader. And that's why we always say, Catherine, personal leadership precedes team influence. If you're not leading your life very well, it's hard to lead others who are trying to lead their lives well. You're not going to have much empathy. You're not going to have much patience. It's not going to be much fun. And I want you to have fun. I want your life. That's why we call this building bigger lives. I want people to experience growth. So yeah, I'm rambling here. That is a complicated subject for everyone that steps into that space.